Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine cold winds sweeping across endless green mountains. A lonely castle stands above a silent lake, hidden beneath the morning mist. This is Scotland, a land of brave warriors, ancient legends, and unforgettable battles. But Scotland was not always a kingdom. Long before castles, kings, and famous heroes, mysterious tribes called this wild land their home. Their story is where our journey begins. More than 2,000 years ago, Scotland belonged to fierce tribes known as the Picts. They painted their bodies blue before battle and terrified every enemy who crossed their path. They lived deep inside forests, hunted wild animals, and carved strange symbols into giant stones. Even today, nobody knows the true meaning behind many of those mysterious carvings. Their secrets remain locked in stone. Then came the most powerful empire on earth. The Romans marched into Britain, conquering almost everything before them. They believed Scotland would be another easy victory. But they were wrong. Every mountain, every forest, and every warrior fought back. The Romans won many battles, yet they could never truly control the land beyond the northern hills. Unable to defeat the northern tribes, Rome built something extraordinary: Hadrian's Wall. Stretching across Britain, this massive stone barrier marked the edge of the Roman Empire. On one side stood Rome. On the other stood Scotland, wild, free, and unconquered. The wall became a symbol of one simple truth: not every land could be conquered. When the Romans finally left Britain, Scotland entered a new chapter. Powerful clans rose across the Highlands. Some became allies, while others fought each other for land and honor. But slowly, one dream united them all: to protect their homeland. They did not know it yet, but these small clans would one day build one of history's proudest nations. In the 9th century, a new danger appeared across the sea. Long wooden ships sailed towards Scotland's rocky shores. They carried fearless Viking warriors. They came quickly, attacked without warning, and disappeared before anyone could stop them. Villages burned, churches were robbed, and families fled into the mountains. Scotland had survived Rome, but now it faced a new and terrifying enemy. The Viking attacks continued for many years. Yet something unexpected happened. Some Vikings stayed instead of leaving. They built small villages, traded with local people, and even married into Scottish families. Little by little, enemies became neighbors. Their cultures mixed together, creating traditions that can still be seen in parts of Scotland today. Around the year 843, one man changed Scotland forever. His name was Kenneth MacAlpin. Instead of fighting the different tribes, he brought them together. For the first time, the Picts and the Scots accepted one king. It was not a perfect kingdom, but it was the beginning of Scotland as one united nation. For the next few centuries, Scotland slowly grew stronger. New castles appeared across the hills. Small villages became busy towns. Trade increased, farms expanded, and churches were built across the countryside. But peace never lasted for long. Across the border, another powerful kingdom was watching Scotland very closely. England. Everything changed in 1296. England invaded Scotland with one of the strongest armies in Europe. Castle after castle fell. Many Scottish nobles surrendered, believing resistance was impossible. It seemed that Scotland's story was about to end. But deep inside the Highlands, a brave warrior was preparing to fight back, and his name would soon become legendary. His name was William Wallace. He was not born a king. He did not command a great army. But he had something even more powerful, a dream of a free Scotland. Wallace traveled from village to village, calling ordinary farmers, hunters, and clansmen to stand together. Slowly, thousands answered his call. A rebellion had begun, and England was about to face an enemy it never expected. In 1297, Wallace led his army to Stirling Bridge. The English believed victory would be easy. Their soldiers marched confidently across the narrow bridge. But Wallace had a clever plan. He waited patiently. Then, at the perfect moment, the Scottish army attacked. The bridge became a trap, and England suffered one of its greatest defeats. News of the victory spread across Scotland like wildfire. William Wallace became a national hero almost overnight. For the first time in years, people believed that England could actually be defeated. Villages celebrated, churches rang their bells, and thousands of new volunteers joined Wallace's growing army. Hope had returned to Scotland. But England refused to accept defeat. King Edward I gathered an even larger army and marched north himself. Wallace fought bravely, but the English forces were simply too powerful. After years of resistance, Wallace was captured through betrayal. In 1305, he was taken to London, where he faced a cruel and painful execution. Yet even in death, he never surrendered. Many believed Scotland's fight had ended with Wallace. They were wrong. Another leader quietly stepped forward. His name was Robert the Bruce. At first, few trusted him. But after witnessing his courage and determination, Scotland slowly united behind him. The struggle for freedom was not over. In fact, the greatest battle was still waiting just beyond the horizon. Robert the Bruce knew that Scotland could not win by fighting England's army in open fields. Instead, he used the mountains, forests, and narrow valleys to his advantage. His small force attacked quickly, disappeared into the highlands, and struck again when the enemy least expected it. Little by little, Scotland began to fight back. The impossible suddenly started to feel possible. Then came the battle that changed Scotland forever. In 1314, Robert the Bruce met the English army at Bannockburn. The English had more soldiers, more horses, and greater resources. But Bruce understood the land better than anyone. His warriors stood shoulder to shoulder, waiting for the perfect moment. Soon, the fate of an entire nation would be decided. Against all expectations, Scotland won. The English army collapsed, and Robert the Bruce became one of the greatest heroes in Scottish history. Bannockburn was more than a victory. It proved that courage, patience, and leadership could defeat even the strongest enemy. Scotland had protected its future, and the dream of independence was alive once again. Only a few years later, Scotland sent a powerful message to the world. In 1320, the Declaration of Arbroath declared that Scotland would never willingly give up its freedom. It said that as long as even 100 Scots remained alive, they would continue fighting for independence. Those words became one of history's greatest declarations of liberty. Scotland had survived invasion, betrayal, and endless war. But history was still moving forward. In the centuries ahead, new kings, powerful queens, political unions, and global change would reshape the nation once again. Scotland's greatest battles were over, yet a completely different chapter was only just beginning. In 1603, something unexpected happened. Queen Elizabeth I of England died without an heir. The Scottish king, James VI, inherited the English throne and became James I of England. For the first time, one king ruled both Scotland and England. Although the two countries remained separate, their futures were now connected in a way nobody had imagined. More than 100 years later, another historic moment arrived. In 1707, the Acts of Union officially joined Scotland and England into the Kingdom of Great Britain. Some people welcomed the union, believing it would bring wealth and stability. Others believed Scotland had lost part of its independence. The debate would continue for generations. Even after the Union, Scotland never lost its identity. The Highlands remained proud. The sound of the bagpipes echoed through the valleys, and ancient traditions continued to be passed from one generation to the next. Scotland changed politically, but its heart remained exactly the same. Scotland soon became one of the world's greatest centers of innovation. Brilliant inventors, engineers, doctors, and scientists changed the future of humanity. Steam engines, famous universities, remarkable discoveries, and world-changing ideas were born here. Although Scotland was small, its influence reached every corner of the world. Today, millions of visitors travel to Scotland every year. They come to see ancient castles, mysterious lochs, peaceful highlands, and the breathtaking beauty that has inspired storytellers for centuries. But beyond its landscapes lies something even more powerful, a history built upon courage, sacrifice, and an unbreakable desire to remain free. Scotland's history is not only written in books, it lives in every castle wall, every mountain trail, and every quiet loch. When people walk through the Highlands, they are walking across the same land where brave warriors once fought for freedom. The past is still alive here, waiting for every traveler who is willing to listen. The story of Scotland is a story of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Farmers became soldiers. Clan leaders became national heroes. Small villages became symbols of hope. Again and again, the people of Scotland proved that courage does not come from power. It comes from believing that some things are worth fighting for. Even today, the names William Wallace and Robert the Bruce inspire millions around the world. Their victories were not just military achievements. They became symbols of freedom, determination, and hope. Their legacy reminds us that history is often changed by people who refuse to give up, even when victory seems impossible. From the mysterious Picts and Viking invasions to legendary kings, heroic battles, and world-changing discoveries, Scotland has traveled an incredible journey through time. Every generation added a new chapter, creating one of the richest and most inspiring histories in the world. And that story continues with every new generation. Our journey through Scotland comes to an end, but history never truly ends. Another forgotten story is waiting just beyond the horizon. If you enjoyed learning English through this story, subscribe to Storyface English, and I'll see you in our next adventure.